Hello, all you good people. Welcome to Shedding Mysticism. Come with me on a journey of myth and mystery to demystify the mind and break through the illusions. Join me in discussions about our human issues and see if they are useful in our society or just myth. Time is running out. Unlock and solve the mysteries before it's too late. Okay, enough of that BS. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? All none of you. Okay, what should we debunk today? I don't know. This is open mic. This is totally, dang nabbit, do the green screen thing. It's a little bit breezy, so this thing is touchy. There, maybe. I guess we'll just have to live with it. Computing power, not good. Mostly stupid. Okay. Okay. How about the news? Everybody seems to think that they have the news that's correct. And usually what it does is confirm their bias, right? Everybody's got an idea of who to look for to get the right news. Unfortunately, it's usually something that they already want to believe ahead of time. So it's just kind of, it may be the truth, it may not be the truth. But the idea of this is the only one who tells the truth because you think your beliefs are true, then you need to ask yourself question, are my beliefs true? And are these people telling me the truth or just confirming what I want to hear? So there's that, right? But nobody ever thinks about it because you're so damn pissed off and what you've been indoctrinated into who to hate for so long that it doesn't even occur to you that you could be wrong. It's just them other people are just doing this and doing that, and chances are they're not. It's all made up. So, just watch where you get your news. And it's hard to say who's telling the truth. It's just that's the way it is. It's the way it always has been. The only thing you could do is see things firsthand and be in the right context while you're there to see what's going on. But yeah, news sucks. That's why I've had my TV off for so long. I watch the weather early in the morning and then it goes right back off. Let's see, what else could we demystify? I don't know. Boy, there isn't really a whole bunch in here to actually have. I didn't come prepared, and I apologize to everyone out there. I just didn't have any subject. I was debating whether I should even have this today. Just because there's, I can't seem to get a guest on, even if it's convenient for their time. See, nobody all of a sudden has time to do the very things that they've been doing for a long time. So, don't know what the hell that's all about. But if you know anybody that would like, to shed a myth about something that everybody always argues about, or just something simple, even that's in our, in our daily lives that people think is true, that really isn't true. It doesn't have to be a real serious issue or scientific issue. It can be, philosophical or anything like that. So if anybody's got some things, oh hi Paul. If anybody's got some things to debunk, that would be fine. Doesn't really matter what it is. So, and this is the show. So looking for guests to be on the show, and then have like open mic question and answer and stuff after that. People getting back on here too, with me on the panel. So that's basically what I got for the intro of the show, and quite a bit after. I don't know. I'm losing my damn mind. Mysteries of the mind. Where are they? I don't know. Maybe next to the bag of marbles. Who the hell knows? Let's see. I really can't think of anything to actually debunk today except for like the historicity of Jesus. No, didn't exist. Wasn't a character. All of our current information says nope, and it doesn't matter. If you want to believe really hard, it doesn't make it true. If it hurts your feelings, it doesn't make it true. That's just the current knowledge that we have right now in the current evidence. I don't have a problem with a rabbi walking around, his name was Yeshua, teaching people things. But magic, no. Nobody's walking on water. Nobody's splitting oceans in half. None of that shit. Nobody spits in somebody's eye and rubs dirt in it, and then all of a sudden they can see. No. No, none of that shit. No magic at all. These are just stories made up, and foolish people started believing in them out of a point of control to make them feel guilty because they're not worthy, and they need to come to this thing that's abusing them. So, in short, Bible, myth. Shed the damn thing. Get rid of it. And that's not just my opinion. It actually proves itself to be contradictory and dumb as shit. Just about every way. Let's see, what else can we debunk? Not that I've had any sources or anything to show anybody. Yeah, Junie, I can just about imagine somebody doing that shit too. And I'm sure there are tribes out there, uneducated, never seen any kind of modern medicine that do things just like that and harm each other and make things worse. Pray to their gods, whatever. I don't know. Are there any subjects you guys want to talk about? Any of you can join me. That'd be fine. That's what this is about, open mic. I'm not going to stay on here too long because I just really hate bullshitting with myself with no topics. Why the hell is my hand doing that green screen thing? That's weird. Huh. It must be turning green too. That is strange, but cool. I don't know. I'm disconnected from the rest of the world, and not just because of COVID, but because of all the bullshit politically that's been going on these past few years. And so I just turned the TV off. So there's really no, okay, cryptozoology. Okay, monsters are real. They're just not the furry kind. They're I don't know. I've seen some really weird shit in my day, but some of it, it's like, okay, was I half asleep or what? And just I don't trust my mind for most of it or anything. The way people do cryptozoology is a belief system. They don't use the scientific method. They decide scientists are just all against them and stuff like that. Is what it is they're not using scientific methods to collect the evidence correctly. And of course, most of the subjects, they're talking about, if something is real, I'm not going to count it out, werewolves or what the hell ever. They're elusive on purpose. They don't want us having any evidence of their existence, or we'd probably hunt them into extinction. And it just goes with any creature, I suppose. They stay hidden on purpose. It's like the Bigfoot people. Yeah. I saw one behind my house, and a bunch of them were messing with me for a couple of years. They were knocking on my house at night, and it wasn't human beings. You know, 'cause human beings don't tie animals together and leave them on your porch or underneath your bedroom window. They don't weave big old trees and stuff like that. And you know, bears. It wasn't a bear. They don't do that stuff. These things have human faces, and sometimes they get pissed off when you're in their territory because they're trying to hunt or trying to live or whatever. But finding evidence to show somebody else, yeah, that's going to be next to zero because there's I don't know how many laboratory tests have been debunked or anything like that, but it seems like a lot. I just had a great big spider. A lot of those things seem like you know, people are getting carried away. They have the conclusion first. I know what this is. That's a Bigfoot hair, and they get the sample of hair, toss it in a bag or whatever. You know, it turns out it was a black bear or whatever. And that happens more often than not. Now, I mean, there might be some real good samples of things out there. I know there's some real pictures and real videos. See, I know they exist, but I don't expect you or anybody else to believe me. Just like somebody says there's a God that exists, and you better believe it because I do. No, just here's a thought. When it comes to other living creatures, they're not going to be delivered to your apartment. You know, just like I've never seen a grizzly bear out in the wild because, you know, they're none here. I know they exist, but I got to go out west in order to see them. Same thing with funny animals on the other side of the planet. But yeah, it's not a do you believe in Bigfoot kind of thing for me. It's like I'm a skeptic, and I was really skeptical about all the stories and shit that I heard also until I actually saw one. And trust me on this one, folks, you do not want to go out and see them, even though that's the only way is to, you know, go way the hell out in the middle of nowhere and just get lucky once in a lifetime or whatever and see one or some. That's the only way it's going to be done because they're not going to, you know, they're not going to be dropped to you in the mail. We are the ones who have to go out and study them, and they don't. These things want to be left the hell alone. And every story I've heard so far was all about leave us the hell alone. And they basically live their lives like snipers, you know. They crawl on their bellies and do everything else they can just specifically so nobody sees them. It's really weird, you know, how they live, but they are, yeah, they're another group of hominid. Yeah, they're a type of human, just like the Denisovans or Denisovans or whatever you call them. There's like 4 different kinds I found out today on a video. A guy's been studying archaeology and getting sources about ancient humans, and I can't even remember the channel, but I want to watch it because it's really interesting. I don't want to make any conclusions like everybody else. Oh, they're the Nephilim breeding with Neanderthal and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, no such thing. No such thing. We have Neanderthal DNA. We have many different types of human DNA that are now extinct species, including Denisovan, because there was like 4 different kinds of them all through Eurasia, and they bred with Neanderthals and eventually Cro-Magnon and then modern man, Homo sapiens sapien. And that's about the time, you know, all that stuff started disappearing because they were truly wild living types of people as far as we know. It could be anything. But until a bunch of them come up and say, hi, you know, we're a such and such clan, and we'll answer every question you got about us. You know, let's do some fair trade or something. But it's something that I think, you know, if there is a big population of creatures like any sort like that, they're observing us, and I'm pretty sure they think we are the monsters. And once in a while, they just retaliate by trying to scare us the hell out of there. Missing people kind of reports and everything probably shouldn't be blamed on something that we don't know is there or not, because so many people walk through the woods. Hell, even right behind my house, great big forest, and a lot of it is swamp. And all you got to do is step in a hole this big around, well, about the size of a steering wheel, a large steering wheel, and you'll go down forever in the swamp, and you'll never get out. You really got to know what you're doing around here, and that's in many, many areas, around the planet. That's just how our topography works, and the water cycle, and all that stuff, geology. So missing people could have just, most of them are just making mistakes, and their bodies don't get found because they probably find themselves in a situation where they get buried up by an avalanche or some damn thing, or dirt, or water, or anything like that. They probably just, we're never going to find them. We just don't have the capabilities doing that. So I just your partner's probably got the David Pilates thing. I got his YouTube channel on here too, and I was thinking about not watching it anymore because it just breaks my heart. These missing people from these families and everything. It's just I really don't want to get involved with that because it's I'm really trying to conquer depression as it is, and trying to stay away from things that make me sad or want to make me go out and help people, and just basically waste my time not getting started on much of anything, really. I mean, there's only so much a disabled person can do. There we go, we're disappearing again. Egg Nebbit, come to a happy medium. Stupid thing. Yep, need some better computing stuff. I'm going to go ahead and post that link just in case some more folks come on here. Now, this is kind of a boring chat when it's just me, and I apologize for that, but, it is what it is. There's not much to it, just trying to pick a topic and, trying to debunk it. However, when it comes to cryptozoology, I mean, everything started, with the Bigfoot thing and werewolves and stuff. And now they started calling them, ever since Steve Cook made that stupid song there in Traverse City, Michigan, about the dog man, out of Cadillac. Everybody's started calling it a dog man all around the world. Now we have a deer man and a goat man and everything. Come on. I mean, it's just, I don't know, mass delusion. Something's going on there where it seems like everybody's, and then they're like, no, these things are just coming out of the woodwork and stuff. Well, I don't know. Are they? Or are most reports just wishful thinking? People want to say they've seen one, or they thought they saw one and their mind was messing with them, or they're lying about it and made a story just so they can get their name on the internet or something, or just get their story read on the internet. You know how many damn hundreds of Bigfoot story readers there are? It's ridiculous. And yet most of the people have, if you walk around, most of the people, it's not because of ridicule, it's because they genuinely do not ever have seen a damn Bigfoot or a werewolf or dog man. Genuinely don't, I mean, that shit just don't pop up everywhere for everybody to be talking about it. But yet for some strange reason, 3/4 of the population is online talking about their stories that they've experienced something one time or another. It's like, was that the thing, or was it just some random natural thing that happened that you just attributed it to? Oh my God, there's a monster behind that bush right there. Hey doctor, how's it going? So there's that factor of fear of, just like the lion in the weeds. Most people think it's better just to think that it's a lion, and get the hell out of danger rather than the breeze. It's the same thing with cryptids. People see a shadow or whatever, and they're afraid of the dark or whatever's going on. And it's just, it's got to be, a Bigfoot. Something smells like skunk. It must be a Bigfoot. Well, no, it might be a skunk. Duh. Stuff like that. I mean, there's behavioral patterns and everything that most animals don't do that are uniquely human. However, that's attributed to the Sasquatch people or whatever they call themselves, if they exist. But I don't know. I've seen some of these bigwigs that are really trying to push the issue. They point at a tree that fell down. See, Sasquatch did that. Or Sasquatch, there's a reason why these telephone wires are going back and forth, because the Sasquatch people know I'm here. And here the guy was in the middle of a thunderstorm. It's like, come on. It's nature doing this shit. And it has nothing to do with your personal dumbass being out there because you think the Sasquatch people don't want you around. Give me a damn break. That's the kind of shit society's dealing with. We got a bunch of cuckoos out there for Cocoa Puffs who's just making things up as they go along. They're getting the conclusion first instead of letting the evidence lead them to the conclusion. They're just, pointing at whatever. It's like the God of Gaps fallacy, pointing at whatever they want and saying, see, monster. And the next guy's like, no, I don't see it. Where? And they say, well, you'll know when you experience it. Does that sound familiar? Most of the people who are doing this are also saying that these are Nephilim from the Bible. I thought they were all dead in the damn flood. Huh. So I guess they all survived anyway? So, and now you're calling them a Bigfoot? Yeah. People are just wait till the evidence gets to you before you start telling everybody else that there's evidence out there and that's what they are. Just hold on. People are, science is a long and tedious process, and it's not going to be, I mean, there's some places in Northern Europe that they believe in fairies and things like that, and they actually close off their woods and make highways go all the way around just so to protect the homes of the fairy folk. And it's just a tree, a bunch of trees and rocks out there. That's all there is. Just like any other natural landscape. Things like that. Leprechauns. Any cryptid stuff like that. And then somebody makes a YouTube video. They are real. And it's like, okay, where was this stuff happening when regular film came out? We know the ones that were cut in paper and hung from trees and shit, but that was just still pictures. But what about films of things that, people's been, filmed out there in their gardens and in the woods and all kinds of stuff going on since the beginning of recording. And only now do we have these magical moments where you can see a real fairy. Yeah, that sounds kind of hokey to me, right? No, that's all right, doctor. You can, get your rest, whatever. I do that too. I can't be on everybody's stream everywhere. I'd like to. It'd be nice, to chat with my friends all the time, but, you got to live too, your own life. So, half asleep. That's what I am half the time. So that's why I'm going to get checked for other stuff, Anyways. Yeah, it would be cool to see like a family of Bigfoot doing their thing, but from a telescope. But I don't think I'd want to. They say they're like anywhere from like 6 to freaking 15 feet tall. If you got giants walking around in the woods killing deer and shit, well, won't it take nothing to get right to you and rip your car in half and use you for a damn one of them push-up ice cream things. Just bite you right in half. I don't think I'd want any part of that shit. I don't think you do either. So, maybe observing them from a tank with zoom lenses. And, yeah, there they are, a mile away. That's the only time I want to see one ever again. If even if I do, I really don't want to run into them. But I do enjoy the woods. I'm still not afraid of going out in the woods. I'm going for a walk, and there's a lot of nice stuff out there. There's baby birds being born and bunnies and just all kinds of stuff out there that's really nice. The grass is coming up in my yard a little bit, and it's last week it was below freezing and in the 20s at night, and that's 70 now, and then yesterday it was 80 Fahrenheit, by the way. And it's been in the 50s and 60s at night, so I don't know, we might get some more cold snaps, but for now, spring is coming. Things are greening right up, so birds have come back. So get out, even though we're still in a pandemic or whatever. I suggest going for a walk and enjoying nature. It's not going to sneeze on you. So just get back to the real world and just get that fresh air if you live outside of the city, and just enjoy the day. Bring a picnic basket and just stay silent and just listen to nature. Oh no, Jenny, you didn't freak me out. I deal with this stuff all the time. I like listening to the stories, and I have a couple of cryptids channels that watch my channels, and I watch theirs too. Got Bigfooters right here in Michigan, and I told them they can film in my woods. They just need to bring a pie, and they can park in my yard, just bring me some pie, and then they can walk off and do whatever they want. They won't do it. Cheap ass bastards. You want to look for a Bigfoot or not? Bring me a pie. I'll point you right in the direction. Oh yeah, that too, Joni. It is. My nieces have allergy problems right now, so people with problems like that, you might want to be out in the woods with your medications in your pocket, just in case. Jeepers, I really don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I've gotten to the point to where I don't say a whole bunch on other people's channels. I try not to argue and be like a troll type and all that stuff. They're not worth my time. It's always going to be, you don't know shit. And it's like, here's the scientific report right here. Yeah, but still. And and they can't even spell correctly or finish an entire sentence. It's like, okay, there's no use in trying to argue with a person like this, because they're just not even on your level. They would never understand, and they're never going to. They're just pissed off and redneckish, and how dare you. So I just try to be nice, and crack a couple jokes on those kind of channels or whatever, but I don't believe everything everybody says, and nobody should. There's a thing going around now where they're sharing so-called knowledge, and they all have and science is against them, or the paid science anyways, the big wigs. And everybody's the governments are keeping these things hush hush and whatever. And it's like, no, it's just that, there's no evidence. Like, quit conspiracy theory. Theory? Yeah, that's not a word. You know what I mean? Conspiracy theories. Stop the bullshit so you have an answer so you can be right. It's still not the answer. You still don't know. You still don't have the information. Somebody just told you a fairy tale story. And you want to believe them because it's something that you want to believe. Oh yeah, just like my experience out there, I saw a dog man too, and blah 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 blah. Okay. And certain creatures, you think they're bigger than what they are, like gray foxes, for instance. Them little bastards can climb trees. Who knew? So a lot of times, if you see something like that, and you see its head poking out above the weeds, a couple of branches, you might think it's a really tall human-shaped thing with a dog head on it, which is impossible, by the way, because canines and apes are not on the same evolutionary branch. Now, get closer so I can do that and give you a V8. Uh, yeah, the doctor, that came out actually when Kennedy was assassinated. The words conspiracy theory, but the theory part is the colloquial usage that came out when Kennedy was assassinated, in the CIA was watching everybody running around speculating. This must have been happening. That must have been happening, because they say, "Haha, I have a theory." That's what that means. The colloquial theory, not scientific theory. So whenever you hear conspiracy theory, you're definitely talking about colloquial coffee table pounding bullshit. That's all it is. So the scientific definition needs to just come to light more. And instead of, and that's another thing with all our media and everything, we're not being taught what really is in our reality. Right now, everybody's being taught to be dumbed down, I think, anyways, because information like that on science and they're only on a few shows like Nova and Nature and PBS, and nobody watches that stuff. They think it's boring because there's no explosions or boobies, so they don't watch it. They watch people doing a play about some fictional event. So thinking back on it, in the 70s, I thought, okay, illiteracy was a big problem in America. So they come out with Schoolhouse Rock. We learned what a little bit of whatever they call history. We learned about conjunction, junction, what's your function, literary stuff. How do you make a bill? Going to Capitol Hill. America is a melting pot. Those things. I mean, they were indoctrination for children, but they were good indoctrination. It wasn't bad. The more they heard them, because they knew kids would be there on Saturday mornings watching cartoons. We don't have anything like that these days, and that's why. And people have forgotten their own knowledge that they were taught, and just listening to each other, like I said, pounding on the coffee tables and around the campfires and shit with the good old boys, and talking about, well, look what just happened the past 4 years. That's why. Yeah, doctor. Sorry, it is annoying. The if it graduates to scientific theory, that's the highest level of information explainable and understandable to humans. Yay, it graduated to theory. Now we have this. Now we have COVID doctor, top doctors of the planet going and having meetings with certain townships or whatever. These what do you call them? Township hall meetings. And then you see people standing up. You don't know. You need to get educated. I heard QAnon was saying this and this and this, and you just need to get better educated. And these are idiots talking about the same crap, all the same lies and propaganda that's been going around, just to debunk or try to dumb them down for an actual agenda. And here they're talking to somebody who is, the world's top expert on these things, and they're acting, and here they come, without any education. I mean, barely got their GED, like me, and then they're coming out there in saying, making claims that the smart people who actually are in that field don't know what they're talking about. But I do, because, I made applesauce. I change a kid's diaper, It's just, the society is just with that kind of thing. I mean, and this is what this is, shedding mysticism. Those ideas away from fact need to go away, because it does hurt our society. We need to see through all these illusions, Mark Hamilton phrase, and also see through to what is. Now, if you cut all the bullshit out and shed all the crap out of your mind, supernature, whatever, anything that's mythical, and start using things that are in reality called facts, they're actually tangible that you can use to make things better right now or in the future sometime. That's how it works. That's how reality works. That's how science works. That's how engineering and building and everything we can possibly know. That's how it works. Everything else is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And it always gets in the way of human progress. If it didn't, we would have had electricity to shine spotlights to see if we can see Jesus on his cross that long ago, if it wasn't for this stupid mentality of needing a higher power or an external source outside of your mind to tell you what to think instead of how to think. So, I'm ranting, aren't I? Anyways, you guys got another topic you want to talk about? Or get on here with me and talk about it yourself, for Pete's sakes. The link's in the chat. I don't have anything to drink right now. My throat's getting a little bit dry from yakking at you. Yes, I'm wearing a green shirt, just in case you know. That way you can see the title of the show on the bottom there. Whee! New office chair. So comfy. Well, gang, I'm sure you're all tied up in chores and whatever you need to do today. Thank you for joining me on Shedding Mysticism. And I will come to my other channel on Saturday afternoons, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's live with the Harmonica Man. And hopefully I'll find a musical guest to be on. Excuse me. Thank you all for coming and talking to me in the chat. And think for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you what you have to think. Shed the mysticism out of your brain and just do better. All right. See y'all later, folks.